नमस्ते बच्चों, खुश रहिए। आई जेविन मुस्कान कुमारी from the Department of Science and Technology, and I'm working here as an assistant professor in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University and the Faculty of Education and Methodology. So today's in this session, I will basically discuss about the MAC protocols, medium access protocols. What is the importance of MAC protocols? What are the various types of the MAC protocols? Isn't it? So to make this topics very clearly and in easy way to understanding to all of you, I am just going to share the some files which will help you to better understanding regarding this. Okay, so this one is the file here, your MAC multiple access protocol. MAC is the first protocol layer above the physical layer in ad hoc network, and primary task of any MAC protocol is to control the access of the nodes to share the medium. Clear? Classification of MAC protocols. What will be the classification of MAC protocol? These are the following below. First is the contention based protocols without reservation or scheduling, in which the bandwidth are not reserved and the no guarantees are given. Second will be your contention based protocols with reservation mechanism. In this, bandwidth is reserved for the transmission and guarantees can be given. Okay, if we talk about the third, contention based protocols with scheduling mechanism, then distributed scheduling is done between the nodes and the guarantees can be given. So, if we talk about the other protocols, then combine multiple features of other protocols, it can also use a completely new approaches. Clear? So now this is the basic diagram which shows you the this all the things about the classification of MAC protocols, that is the contention based, reservation, scheduling and other. In the contention based, one is the sender initiated, another will be the receiver initiated, and the sender initiated will be single channel or the multiple channels also. But in the reservation, we'll use the synchronous or asynchronous. Third one is the scheduling one, and fourth one is the other protocols. Clear? So now if we talk about the more about contention based protocol without reservation scheduling, in which sender and receiver initiated protocols. So the sender initiated protocols and the receiver initiated protocols. Sender initiated protocols, the transmission of the data packet are initiated by the sender node, in which single channel sender initiated, for example MACAW and FAMA. Isn't it? Multiple channel sender initiated protocols, for example BTMA, DBTMA and ICSMA. So these all are the another things which will in the brief discussions. But this is, I have only given you to the example regarding this. Okay, the receiver initiated protocol is what? Receiver initiated protocols is basically initiated by the receiver nodes. For example, RIBTMA and MACABI, MARCH. Clear? Now, the second, contention-based protocols with reservation mechanism. Here are two things. One is the synchronous, another is asynchronous protocols. In synchronous protocols, are all nodes which is in the networks are kept synchronized. For example, DPRMA, CATA, HRMA, SRMA, PA, FPRA. Okay, now, if you talk about the asynchronous protocols, then relative time information is used to achieve the effective reservations. For example, MECA, PRA, RTMS. Clear? So now we talk about the again contention based scheduling algorithm or scheduling mechanism protocols. All the nodes are treated equally and no node is get deprived of bandwidth. For example, DPS, DLPS. Other protocols is what? These MAC protocols don't strictly fall into any above category. For example, MAMC, MCSMA, PCM, RVAR. So multiple access protocols in the computer network. Now in the deep form, like the data link layer is possible for the transmission of data between the nodes. Its main function are data link control and multiple access resolutions or the multiple access control. Clear? So what is the data link control? Okay. The data link control is responsible for the reliable transmission of message over the transmission channel by using the techniques like framing, error control, and follow controls, flow controls. For data link control, you will also use the ARQ and wait protocols. Isn't it? Multiple access control is what? If there is a dedicated link between the sender and receiver, then data link control layer is sufficient. Clear? So, however, if there is no dedicated link between the sender and receiver is present, then multiple stations can access the channel simultaneously at the same time. Hence, multiple access protocols are required to decrease the collision and avoid the crosstalk, which happens during the transmission of channel over the transmission of data over the communication channel. Example, for example, in a classroom full of students, in a classroom, the classroom is the full of the students. When a teacher asks a question and all students start answering simultaneously, it means all students are sending the data at the same particular time. Then lots of chaos is created, data overlap or data going to be lost. Like data is just going to be overlapped with one another's answering, and I cannot understand the what are the actual data who is delivering. Clear? So then it is the job of the teacher to manage the students and make them answer one at a time. Clear? So, just like the teacher, here the role of this one is played by the MAC protocol. So, the protocol are required for sharing data on non-dedicated channels. Multiple access protocols can be subdivided into the further. Here is the random access protocols, controlled access protocols, and channelization protocols. In the random access protocols, we will use the Aloha CSMA, CSMA CD, CSMA CA, and in controlled access protocol, we will use the reservation, polling, token passing, and channelization protocols is FDMA, TDMA, CDMA. Clear? So now, if we talk about the random access protocol, in this all stations have superiority, that is no stations has more priority than other stations. All stations has the same priority. Any stations can send data depending on mediums, state, idle or basic. It has two features. There is no fixed time for sending the data. There is no fixed sequence for station sending the data. The random access protocols are further subdivided as Aloha. What is the Aloha? It was designed for wireless LAN, but it is also applicable for the shared media. In this, multiple stations can transmit data at a particular same time and hence lead to collision and data being graveled. Now, if we talk about the pure Aloha, in this Aloha, there is one more terminology is used, that is the pure Aloha. When a station send data, it waits for the acknowledgement. If acknowledgement doesn't come to the allotted time, then station waits for the random amount of time called back off, that is known as TV, and resends the data packets again. Since different stations wait for different amount of time, the probability of further collision decreases. So vulnerable time equals to 2 into frame of transmission time, and throughput equals to G expression minus 2 into G, and maximum throughput is 0.184 for G equals to 0.5. And now if we talk about the slotted Aloha, then what will happen? It is similar to the pure Aloha, except that we divide time into slots and sending the data is allowed only at a beginning these slots. If a station misses out the allowed time, it must wait for the next slot. This reduced the probability of collisions also. Whenever time, frame transmission time. Now, throughput equals to G expressions minus into G. Maximum throughput 0.368 for G equals to 1. And if we talk about the CSMA, then carrier sends multiple access ensure fewer collision at the station is required to first sense of the medium and before transmitting that data. If it is an ideal, then it sends data, otherwise, it waits till the channel becomes ideal. However, there is still chance of collision in CSMA due to the propagation of delay. For example, suppose if a station 1 wants to send data, it will first sense the medium. If it finds the channel ideal, then he will transmit that data over that channels. It will start sending data. However, by the time the first bit of data is transmitted from station A, if station B requests to send data and senses the medium, it will also find it ideal and will send the data. This will result the collision of data from station A and station B at the same time. Clear? So CSMA access the modes first persistent. The node sends the channel. If ideal, it sends the data. Otherwise, it continuously keeps on checking the medium of for being idle and transmit unconditionally as soon as channel gets idle. Okay, non-persistent. The node senses the channel. If it idle, it sends the data. Otherwise, it checks the medium after random amount of time and transmits when found idle. Now, P persistent, the node senses the medium. If idle, it sends the data with P probability. If data is not transmitted, 1 minus P probability, then it waits for some time also and checks the medium again. Now, if it is found idle, then it sends with P probability. Thus, repeat continuous state. The frame is sent. It is used in Wi-Fi and packet radio system. GO persistent superiority of nodes is decided beforehand and transmission occurs in other hand. If medium is idle, node waits for its time slot to send the data. And now if we talk about the CSMA or CD, we can say that full form of CSMA. Carrier sends multiple access with collision detection. A station can terminate transmission of data if collision is detected, isn't it? So CSM is CA. Carrier sends multiple access with collision avoidance. The process of collision detection involves sender receiving acknowledgement signal, isn't it? If there is just one signal, then the data is successfully sent. But if there are two signals, then it means collision has occurred. To distinguish between the two cases, collision must have a lot of impact on received signal. However, it is not the networks also. Now this is all about your the MAC protocols, and same this is the interface spaces is used, contention window is used, and the acknowledgement center retransmit the data if the acknowledgement is not received by in the times, and controlled access is that data is sent by the station which is approved by all other stations. Channelization is what in this available bandwidth of link is shared in time frequency and codes to multiple stations to access the channel simultaneously. Now, if we talk about the frequency division multiple access, that available bandwidth is divided into equal bands so that each stations can be located its own band. Guard band are also added so that no two bands overlap to avoid crosstalks and noise. Time division multiple access in this bandwidth is shared with multiple stations to avoid the collision. Time is divided into slots and stations are allotted these slots to allotted the slots to know the time slots, and during this time they are just going to complete their communications, isn't it? Code division multiple access channels. One channel carries all transmissions simultaneously. There is neither division of bandwidth nor division of time. For example, if there are many people in a room all speaking at the same time, then also perfect reception of data is possible. If only two persons speak the same language, similarly, data from different stations can be transmitted simultaneously in different code languages also. So this is all about your the MAC protocols. If you have any problem in this session, then please let me know by drop your query into the comment section box through which I will solve your query easily in the next session. And please read this session from the multiple standard book. Also refer the multiple sites, and please multiple questions will also arises from this one that define the multiple access protocols. What do you mean by the content based protocol with scheduling mechanism? What do you mean by the multiple access controls? Isn't it data link control? What is the random access protocols? And what do you mean by the CSMA, CDMA? Okay, so then you have to describe these all the things. Okay, thank you.